cases of alleged in-person voter impersonation in 12 years. 10 cases. Another analysis found that out of 197 million votes cast for federal elections between 2002 and 2005, only 40 voters out of 197 million were indicted for fraud. Now, for those of you who are math majors, that's a percentage that is 0.00002%. That's not a lot. So let's be clear. The real voter fraud is people who try to deny our rights by making voters arguments. And I have to say, there have been some of these officials who've been passing these laws have been more blunt. They said this is going to be good for the Republican Party. Some of them have not been shy about saying that they're doing this for partisan reasons. Now, it is wrong, President Johnson said, deadly wrong, to deny any of your fellow Americans the right to vote in this country. It is wrong to change our election rules just because of politics. It is wrong to make citizens wait for 5, 6, 7 hours just to vote. It is wrong to make a senior citizen who no longer has a driver's license jump through hoops and have to pay money just to exercise the rights she has cherished for a lifetime. America did not stand up and did not march and did not sacrifice to gain the right to vote for themselves and for others, only to see it denied to their kids and their grandchildren. We've got to pay attention to this. Some folks from Chicago know, Kreider knows, one of the first jobs I had out of law school was to lead a voter registration drive in my home state of Illinois. We registered more than 150,000 new voters. And as an organizer, I got to help other citizens exercise their most cherished and fundamental rights. That mattered to me. As president, I'm not going to let attacks on these rights go unchallenged. And we're not going to let voter suppression go unchallenged. This week we heard from the Attorney General, and there's a reason the agency he runs is called the Department of Justice. They've taken on more than 100 voting rights cases since 2009. They've defended the rights of everybody from African Americans to Spanish speakers to soldiers serving overseas. Earlier this year, a bipartisan commission I appointed, chaired by my election lawyer and Mitt Romney's election lawyer, came up with a series of modern or common sense reforms to modernize voter registration and to curb the potential for fraud in a smart way and ensure that no one has to wait for more than half an hour to cast a ballot. States and local election boards should take up those recommendations. And with the 50th anniversary of Freedom Summer almost upon us, I urge members of Congress to honor those who gave their lives so that others could exercise their right and update the Voting Rights Act. Go ahead and get that out. No, because the right to vote is something cherished by every American. We should not be having an argument about this. There are a lot of things we can argue about. But the right to vote. Well, what kind of political platform is that? I mean, why would you make that a part of your agenda? Preventing people from voting. How can you defend that? There are a whole bunch of folks out there who don't vote for me. Didn't vote for me, don't like what I do. The idea that I would prevent them from voting and exercising their franchise makes no sense. Black or white, man or woman, urban, rural, rich, poor, Native American, disabled, gay, straight, Republican or Democrat. Voters who want to vote should be able to vote. Period. Full stop. Voters want to it makes our democracy strong. But it's a fact. This recent effort to restrict the vote has not been led by both parties. It's been led by the Republican Party. And in fairness, it's not just Democrats who are concerned. You know, you had one Republican state legislator point out, and I'm quoting here, making it more difficult for people to vote is not a good sign for a party that wants to attract more people. That's a good insight. Right?
Vote them out.
I want a competitive Republican Party. There's like a competitive Democratic Party. That's how our democracy is supposed to work, the competition of ideas. But I don't want folks changing the rules to try to restrict people's access to the ballot. And I think responsible people, regardless of your party affiliation, should agree with that. If your strategy depends on having fewer people show up to vote, that's not a sign of strength. That's a sign of weakness. And not only is it ultimately bad politics, I believe ultimately it harms the entire country. If voting is denied to the many, we risk ending up stuck year after year with special interest policies that benefit a fortunate few, and injustice perpetuates inequality. But remember, just as injustice perpetuates inequality, justice opens up opportunity. As infuriating as efforts to roll back hard-earned rights can be, the trajectory of our history has to give us hope. The story of America is a story of progress. No matter how often or how intensely that progress has been challenged, ultimately this nation has moved forward. As Dr. King said, the arc of the moral universe is long. It bends towards justice. We move forward on civil rights, and we move forward on workers' rights, and we move forward on women's rights and disability rights and gay rights. We showed that when ordinary citizens come together to participate in this democracy we love, justice will not be denied. And the single most important thing we can do to protect our right to vote is to vote. I'm going to make one last point here. We're going to have an attorney general that looks at all the laws that are being passed. We're going to have civic organizations that are making sure that state laws and local laws are doing what they're supposed to do. We will fight back whenever we see unfairly the franchise being challenged. But the truth is that for all these laws that are being put in place, the biggest problem we have is people giving up their own power, voluntarily not participating. The number of people who voluntarily don't vote, who are eligible to vote, dwarfs whatever these laws are put in place might do in terms of diminishing the voting rolls. So we can't treat these new barriers as an excuse not to participate. We can't use cynicism as an excuse not to participate. Sometimes I hear people saying, well, we haven't gotten everything we need. You know, we still have poverty. We still have problems. Of course, these things didn't happen overnight. When I was down in Texas, everybody's celebrating the day that the civil rights law was finally passed. Remember, there were decades in which people sacrificed and worked hard. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it happens as long as we don't purposely give our power over. Every obstacle put in our path should remind us of the power we hold in our hands each time we pull that lever or fill in that oval or touch that screen. We just have to harness that power. We've got to create a national network committed to taking action. We can call it the National Action Network. I want you to go out there and remember register more voters. Help more folks to get their rights. Get those states to the polls. If they don't let them do it on Sunday, they'll do it on Tuesday instead. I know it's better going to polls on Sunday because you go to church, you get Got more meal. Got the bus waiting for you. I understand, but you can do it without that if we have to. We're at a time when we're marking many anniversaries. And it's interesting for me, I've been on this earth 52 years. And so to see the progress we've made is to see my own life, the progression that's happened. You think about environmental support education and the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act and Freedom Summer. And with those anniversaries, we have new reason to remember those who made it possible for us to be.
That's right.
Like the 3 civil rights workers in Mississippi, 2 white, 1 black, who were murdered 50 years ago as they tried to help their fellow citizens register to vote. James Cheney and Andrew Goodman and Michael Furman believed so strongly in the change was possible, they were willing to lay down their lives for it. What these people do is take them up on the gifts that they are giving you. Go out there and vote. You can make a change. You do have the power. I won my last election, but I need you to make sure that the changes that we started continue for decades to come. Thank you.